You have practiced this piece hundreds of times. You know every note, every phrase, every moment where something could go wrong. And yet, you still don't feel ready. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because what's happening is not so much a practice problem. In my view, it's a psychological problem. Not sure you believe it? Let's look at this together. I'm Dr. Maja Jankowska, clinical and counseling psychologist and founder of Beyond the Spotlight Psychology. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the practice myth. There is a well-known idea in performance psychology that expertise takes around 10,000 hours. But that idea, in my view, is often misunderstood. The research by psychologist Anders Ericsson does not say that more hours make you better. It says that the quality of practice matters far more than the quantity, but we just kind of get hooked on 10,000 hours, right? Violinist Nathan Milstein once asked his teacher how many hours he should practice. The teacher said, "Practice with your fingers and you need all day. Practice with your mind and you will do as much in 1.5 hours. Heifetz said he never practiced more than 3 hours a day. Studies show that benefits start to decline after around 2 hours of really focused practice. So more is not really better. And yet many performers I work with practice far more than this, and they still feel unprepared or underprepared. Why? Because for some performers, practice has stopped being about the music or their acting or whatever performance kind of channel they use. It has become a way of managing fear. When the nervous system has learned to treat performance as a threat, something really shifts. You are no longer practicing to build the performance. You are practicing just to quiet that alarm inside you. And it works, it does work, but briefly. After each run-through, the anxiety settles a little. But then it comes back, doesn't it? So then you run it again and again and again. This is what psychologists call a safety behavior. We use this term quite a lot. So what it does, it's a little bit like a crutch, right? And it gives you this sense of safety, a short-term relief. But unfortunately, it keeps the underlying fear in place. So the more you use it, the more necessary it feels, like you don't believe that you can go without. And the more you practice from this place of fear, the less ready you will feel. Because no amount of practice can answer the question your nervous system is really asking, which is not, do I know this piece very well or well enough? It is, am I good enough to be here, to be on this stage, to do this piece in this context? That question is connected to what I call imposter patterns. In my work with professional performers, overpreparation is most often linked to 2 types. Okay, so there are 5 different types of imposterism that we know from research, but this specific behavior of overpreparation is linked to 2. The first one is perfectionist. The perfectionist believes that one flaw cancels everything else. So every gap in the preparation feels like evidence of inadequacy. Fix one gap and another appears, because there is always another gap, always. The second pattern is the one of the expert. The expert believes they must have total command before they deserve the stage. But live performance is always uncertain. You cannot read every book or listen to every recording of something to feel prepared. You cannot have that full control of it. And for the expert, the uncertainty is deeply, deeply uncomfortable. Both patterns share something important. They have given preparation a job it actually cannot do. They are asking practice to resolve a question about worth and belonging. And practice cannot really answer that question. Okay? So I want to talk to you about trauma, because past trauma can really shape not just how we feel and how we set goals, how we accept failure, how we celebrate our success. When a performer has experienced earlier situations where being evaluated felt genuinely dangerous, the nervous system remembers. Those traumatic experiences are encoded deep in subcortical structures here in your brain, and reminders can trigger bodily response, because our nervous system does not distinguish between then and now. It just knows that being seen and judged feels like a threat. And so it tries to protect you. Once you experience being triggered, it's so unpleasant, you just want to avoid it, right? To protect yourself further. So over-practicing is a behavioral pattern that has a protective function. But unfortunately, longer term, it is just unnecessary, if not harmful. So remember, over-preparation is not weakness. It's not a lack of professionalism. It's a nervous system trying very hard to keep you safe. The question is, safe from what? And is that still necessary? Okay, so what do we do with all of this? The answer is not to practice less or not practice at all. Please don't take it that way. And it's not to force yourself to feel confident. That's kind of fake, right? Fake it till you make it. What helps is becoming more conscious about what you are actually doing and why. This is called deliberate practice. Short, focused sessions, specific goals, honest monitoring. Not more hours, but just more presence. From a clinical psychology perspective, I would add understanding which pattern is driving the over-preparation changes what to work on next. So the perfectionist needs to work on their relationship with imperfection. The expert needs to build tolerance for uncertainty. Both need something different from another run-through, from another practice. If you want to know which pattern you are operating, or maybe we should say is operating you or running you, I have a free interactive quiz on my website, and the link is below. It takes under 5 minutes and gives you your specific type along with what actually helps with it. So there is another series specifically about imposterism and different types, and each video gives you an exercise for your specific type. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Feeling underprepared despite all your preparation is not a sign that you have not worked hard enough. It is a sign that something else is going underneath, and that something else is worth understanding. Because when you understand it, you can actually really work on it and work with it, rather than just adding another hour to the practice schedule. If this resonated, please subscribe. I post regularly on the psychology behind performance for musicians, singers, actors, and anyone who performs under pressure. That actually, by the way, includes psychologists who lecture or deliver trainings. I've worked with them too. Anyway, I'm Dr. Maja Jankowska, and I hope to see you in the next video.